So what's going on, guys? Patrice here, founder of Success on Social. Today, we are chatting about one of my favorite topics. I promise you, I have been mulling over this for like 6 months. Like, do I share this? Do I take my brand in this direction? But I feel like I'm starting to see, especially with the launch of our most recent business, which is a Shopify drop shipping store. I'm like, this is something that people need. You know, now that I've been working as an agency owner this is my 6th month that the agency has been officially open. And the more business owners I meet, interact with, I'm seeing a gap between how they launch and how I've launched. I just met a business owner, a new one last week rather. And we just kind of walked through her strategy. And I'm like, there are elements missing that's making your business a lot harder to grasp. So I want to make sure I give you guys bomb information that blows your mind, that really helps you go into 2020 excited and ready for change. Okay. So I'm going to pull up the PowerPoint here. And let me know if you guys can see this okay. I want to make sure you guys can full on and chat for me. Hi, Jody. Glad you had a good Thanksgiving. Awesome. So let's jump right into it. My goal is to keep this short. I am a chatty patty in real life, so I want to make sure I keep this short. The profitable pre-launch. I don't think people dream about pre-launch, and I get it. That's not the fun part. That's not the part that you get to post on social media. That's not the part that you make money in directly, right? So when it comes to us being a little bit of a microwave society, this isn't the part of business that most of us want to talk about. But when it looks like some people just have this magnetic approach and they start a business and everyone buys. I see it all the time in Facebook groups that I'm in where people are just frustrated. Like, I have a great product. I have a great offer. I'm doing all the right things. I got a website. I have all these pieces in place. Why is no one buying from me? Or why am I not reaching a success level when I feel like I did everything that the business owner to my left or right? And of course, I never want you guys to compare yourself. But if you do notice that there's a gap there's something happening before that business goes live that just doesn't get talked about enough. And I want to make sure we walk through that. I want to flip how you see business on its head. So I'm going to be sharing the 5 proven steps that me and my husband take, because we've been working together for 7 years now, and he's still here. Good for you. I haven't worked his nerves too bad, but we run our businesses together. So we really are the Garrison Group Inc. That's our business, and everything that we do. There's, even if it's a brand where I seem like I'm more forefront or he seems more forefront, believe me, we're usually in the same room brainstorming this out, making sure that we stay on point when it comes to having things in order to pre-launch a business. So what are we covering? Y'all seen this. I kind of took this from your worksheet, your workbook, but we're going to decide if a business idea is worth it or not. When I have newer or aspiring business owners come to me, most of them are asking questions like, how do you know if this is what you want to do? How do you know if I want to pursue an idea? How do I know if it's profitable? You know, that's really what it comes down to. I don't think anyone dreams of an idea that's not going to make them any money, especially after you invest your own time and money into it. Making sure that, oh, no problem. How to launch your business without family and friend support. Huge thing. I know when I first launched my first business, I didn't bank on that. And I think that now I look back, I'm like, man, you were a wise kid. That was 7 years ago, knowing that family and friends just couldn't sustain the vision. You know, you only have so many family and friends, sorry. Number 3, how to get referrals and or customer images before you launch. As a social media manager, as part of my part-time, a lot of my customers struggle to get those images. So how do you get those images ahead of time? How do you get referrals before you launch? How do you have, especially if you're service-based, and we'll kind of differentiate between the two as we go. What's more important for each type of business? Product-based. Product-based basically means I'm offering something tangible. It can be clothing, it can be cosmetics, it can be health and beauty, it can be hiking boots. That's a product-based business. A service-based business means that there's nothing tangible being exchanged, but I'm doing something for you. So that could be plumbing, that could be me as the agency, that's something that's considered a service-based. My husband's a photographer. He's kind of both. He offers a product. He has albums and wall art, but then he's offering something kind of intangible where it's more of a service because, of course, he's taking those photos. So he kind of falls in both. And then our secret to actually sell what you're offering in your first 30 days. So let's jump right in. Who's the class right for? Again, if you're here, you probably figured it out. Either you're hopeful, you have an idea that you want to launch next year. So I want you guys to give me a 1, whether you're either entrepreneur hopeful and you're thinking about launching a new idea, or you haven't launched an idea yet. So there's something in 2020 that you want to bring to life that you haven't touched yet. That's what I want you guys to drop a 1 for me there. List of ideas. I know I have a full running. Oh, my mouth is just. Can you give me some water? I feel like my mouth is like sticky. 1 is, again, I have a list of things. I want to make sure I don't forget it. But what do I do right now versus what do I do later? Product-based, again, we kind of went through that, but you don't want to burn out posting items from your store onto Facebook and Instagram for months and months without being fruitful, right? No one wants to go through that. So if you're a product-based business, go ahead and give me a number 2 there in the comments. Let me know, thank you, that you are indeed a product-based business. And then number 3, service-based means, hey, you know what? I want to convey what I have to offer, but I don't want to stalk folks. I don't want to keep getting stuck in my brain figuring out where the heck those are who need what I have. So if you're a service-based business, I want you to drop a 3 in the comments for me and kind of see who we have out there. So we got a mix, right? We got some folks who haven't launched yet. We have some folks who have a product they want to offer. And I guess, yes, literally tied, product-based and service-based. So I'll make sure tonight, again, that I give you guys perspective to just, if you're one or the other, you know exactly how to build using this class. There we go. Okay. Moving my picture around here. So my launch successes. I think you're here because I've had them, but I just want to show that I've done both. I've been on product side, on service side, just being here tonight, right? But product side is definitely my forte up until now, I would say. Opening up into the service piece has been my 2019 goal, and I've reached that. So prior to direct sales, that's where I started. First business I ever launched. And that really is like an influencer kind of business where I got paid to basically market my life, my lifestyle, my personality, all of that. So that really came, that's what you kind of see when you go to Patrice Garrison on Instagram. That brand came from me building me. So although I had a product, and again, I get to decide in what season was forefront for me. I love that. But I primarily built me as a brand. And from that, was able to create 6 figures monthly, me and my husband each. So when I count our businesses that we launched, we both launched in direct sales, different business accounts, and we separately built our businesses in the same room. And both hit 6 figures monthly each in 6 months with no prior audience. The next business for me that launched, I didn't include all his successes on here because he's hanging out, but he's not hosting tonight. For me, my second success was drop shipping clothing. So I have a clothing boutique for children. It was a 3-part store. And I'm going to explain to you guys, I'm going to try to insert as much of my experience into this as you guys fill out your worksheets. Because I want you guys to really get in like my brain. I always want to pick people's brains who do what I want to do. So I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to do that too. So I started off with children's clothes, t-shirts, and swimwear. And as I did my testing, I found out that the children's clothing was actually more successful. So I really condensed that brand down into just children's clothes. But the clothes were primarily that 4K. Yeah, the clothes really, I don't think I launched the t-shirts until after that 4K in first 90 days. So it really was just children's clothing that was $4,000 in the first 90 days of launching and didn't do any advertising. I know y'all want to know more about that. That was bananas. The social media agency officially launched this year. So what kind of happened was I had my own personal success. Things are working for me. Let me start to offer my services to others. Let me start transitioning into that. And last month, November, was my 5th month, and I finally exceeded what I would be earning sitting at a cubicle, sitting at home, working my agency. So that was super exciting. And then you guys have watched our journey over the last maybe 15 days. Now, I don't know how many days it's been since I've updated y'all, but we're still getting sales. Like my Shopify is still kind of going off here. So we're still rolling with it. Drop shipping beauty supply store, $500 within the first 10 days. So each of these had a different strategy. I didn't do the same exact launch, but these principles is what is the consistent. That is what's the same. Let's pull it in the right direction here. There we go. All right. So into the nitty gritty, how most businesses launch. Most businesses launch with an idea, right? I thought of something, right? So how many of y'all have, again, a list of business ideas like I do? Go ahead and just give me a quick me in the comments. Yes, me. I have a ton of ideas that at some point I want to launch. I don't know when. It might be now, might be later. But who has a ton of ideas that just float around their brain, and at some point, if you've already launched an idea, you were just like, okay, I'm going to jump out here. I've decided what I want to do. Who's that sound like? I see some yeses, right? Enthusiastic. Yes, that's me. For sure, right? Lots of ideas floating. So most of us go from that and we source a product, or if it's an offer, we form our offer. We figure out how to solidify that. We create a website, we invest in branding, and then we start promoting on social media. Nothing wrong with this. It's just, again, this leaves room for stress because now it's, we're the people, right? We gave our idea all of our energy, but we don't have anything about the actual people who are going to buy. They were in mind, kind of, but the idea was the superstar in the way this got launched. So what ends up happening is business owners will come to me and say, where are the people? I'm promoting on social media. I thought I had a following. I thought I had an audience. I thought when I launched, my family and friends were going to support me. And it's crickets. Like, what's going on? Why is it doing this? Sorry, y'all. In suspense there. Most individuals do not see success with this method because they launched their business without having an audience first. So again, we forget the people in that first part. And it might be, again, an over assumption that the people we have access to are going to be enough to like grow and then refer. And you do see that. Don't get me wrong. There are some businesses that luck up. They are able to literally build a strong foundation off of their prior audience. But I know for me, this girl, the girl in high school that, was an introvert and hardly ever talked and, graduated from college with like 5 friends, I knew I wouldn't be able to launch a business like that. And I know a lot of people who are like me, who are introverted, who will not start a business or hesitate or stall for a long time because they think they have to have this pre-existing. And again, it's great if you have it, but I just didn't have it. So because I didn't have it, it wasn't an excuse to move forward without it. I had to stop here. I had to figure out how to get the audience. And that's why that pre-launch period is crucial. If you take your time and you give yourself time to pre-launch and you give yourself space to create that audience first, then you can go and start to promote your product. And it's not such a uphill battle every day where you're exhausted trying to find those people to market to. Why? Okay. Sorry. Oh, I see what's happening here. Okay. Let me not use that function. All right. So what do we do instead? Sorry for confusing y'all. Our proven 5-step process. So what we do first, and these are concepts that you may have heard before, but my goal is, again, to make sure I insert how I think and how I navigate these to ensure that you launch your next idea differently. I choose my audience first. And this idea, this concept, this system, we've been doing it for years, and we started watching. I highly recommend this to y'all. It already went off air, so it might be on your DVRs or like your on demands if you have cable. We have YouTube TV. We love it. Everyone's like, oh, I have YouTube too. I'm like, no, you don't have YouTube TV. YouTube TV is an actual TV service provider. It's a cable provider. So it's the equivalent of us having like DirecTV or Comcast or whatever you might have in your area. So we have that. And it allows for us to pull up programming, pull up whatever's aired recently. Like even if I didn't set it for DVR, I get access to it. It's just the dopest thing ever. But it's called Undercover Billionaire. And we are currently still getting through that show. But like, it's a billionaire who literally like trades in all he leaves all his cards and identity and success at home, and he goes to this desolate town in Pennsylvania. Whoop whoop, I think he's in Pennsylvania, same state as I am right now. And he starts to build a business with zero. I think he hit $100. That's all he had to start with. Sleeping in a car, going through all kinds of emotions, eating, cup of noodles with cold water. Like he literally started from the bottom, and he shows you mindset wise why he's able to rise to the top of whatever he decides to do, because his mind is in the right place. So when we watched this show and he mentioned this, I'm like, people need to know this. This is what we do. We didn't get trained in this, but we just innately learned this as we went. Choose your ideal audience first. Choose your audience first. Choose your audience first. When you choose your audience first, you can invest in an audience, and then you can start to launch products or businesses, services, whatever you want, to the same audience over and over again. Right? So that's why you see people who have this like massive success. They have chosen who they want to talk to, or they just attract like-minded people, either or. Sometimes it's more intentional than others, but they do that first and they grow that audience. So you choose who you want to work with. You choose who you want to inspire. You choose who you want to create for. You grow that audience before you even think about launching your business. It can be simultaneous. You can be launching your business behind the scenes, but I want to say, if I could give every one of you guys watching this and everyone else in the world advice, give yourself 6 months to really invest in your audience first and then launch your business. So why you do that is because that's going to save you time and money. Number 3, conducting that market research. When you have that audience of ideal people following you, and it doesn't have to be your personal brand. This can be a couple different brands, and we'll go into that. You can conduct market research without paying for it. You can test an idea. Testing ideas. We've been watching so many YouTube videos, even on e-commerce, because that's kind of what we're doing in this season. It's like our hobby right now. And that testing phase, like you would be so surprised how many successful businesses pause to just test. Do people want this? Do people need this? Do my people want this? Do my people need this? And when I say my people, this can be people who identify with career-wise. It can be people who identify with life-wise, whether it be moms, right? It can be people who used to work in HR. I mean, that's what I used to do. It can be people who are, running a business online. Like, decide who your tribe is, right? But you want to run your idea past them first. Again, we'll go into all of this. Solidify that product and offer after you know that there's a need for it. And that's so different, right, than this, because here we ran with our idea first, right? We just ran with it. And sometimes, again, I'm a spiritual girl. Like, God will give me a vision and say, go. And I'll be like, I don't know. That's the only time I run. But even when I do that, I've already know that I've been working on my audience for years. So I have an audience I can market to. It's not going to have that same level of trepidation when I launch that. So you solidify that product and offer after you do your research. And then I launch with minimal branding. I don't spend as much time as the average new business owner does with designing and graphic design and stuff like that. I know enough, of course, because I've just been in the game long enough. So I can do my own basic branding, but that's not what people are buying into an idea. So if you already have that audience that trusts you, and we'll talk more about that. You ain't got to worry about that quite as much. So number 1, choose your audience first. I've said it enough, right? That's my direct but indirect secret. We got more secrets to come here, but that's the biggest thing. The true commodity on social media is attention. Let me explain something to you guys. Over the last 7 years, when I launched my Instagram for body contouring 7 years ago this month. And when I did that, there were no limits on following on Instagram. I wouldn't go to sleep until I had 100 new followers. And that was every single day. Now, you can't necessarily do that now because Instagram wants their coin. And Instagram was not really being monetized 7 years ago. So I had hopped on a platform that really was a trailblazer. It was almost like what TikTok would be considered today. Sorry, I'm a little thirsty. And I hopped on there without really knowing what the heck was going on. I just started running, and I knew I needed an audience. Now, with today, you can still build, and you see it happening. People are still building $1 million businesses on Instagram. But what they understand is that attention is a true commodity. If you don't have people's attention, you cannot get access to their money. Say it again, if you don't have their attention, you cannot get access to their funds. So whatever you have to offer is going to be drowning, because I think we're getting marketed to on social media, online, every 7 seconds. Every 7 seconds. If you're scrolling 2, 3, every 7 swipes, somebody's trying to sell you something, right? And if you don't believe me, pick up your phone, open up Facebook, an ad will pop up. Maybe a business, maybe a friend that has a business, whatever the case is, I can't swipe for 7 seconds without someone trying to sell me something. So you want me to stop and really invest in your brand, you have to have my attention. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. Number 2, each audience is not equally profitable. So just because there's an audience that I like, that I belong to. So what's an example of that? I can't even think of something right now. I like cheap lip gloss, right? I might be, because I don't go to MAC and I don't go to Sephora to buy lip gloss. Like, I'm perfectly content with the Aquaphor tube from a drugstore or whatever. I might it might be an audience of girls that are like me, but just because we are a tribe does not mean that we're a profitable tribe, right? So just because there's an audience that you might identify with, that you belong to, you may even see them online. Maybe a tribe of people who are super passionate about something. Just because they exist does not mean that they're the most profitable audience to invest in. And this is a tester. You might not know this up front. This is something that even today, like, we're learning. Like, we sneak peek into our world. We launched a dog store kind of like yesterday-ish, I think. And the first test that we did failed. So we haven't launched this business yet because, again, we're in pre-launch. So y'all won't see us talk about it until it's time. But our testing of the dog market, the way that we did it, which, again, we'll talk more about that, it didn't work. So just because we saw an audience does not mean it's going to pay our bills. Give me a quick emoji in the comments if this makes sense to you. Y'all have any kind of aha moments yet? Just making sure y'all still with me. Still awake. Fantastic. Yes, a quick little keyboard heart works for me too. Awesome. Let's keep going, as my daughter would say. All right. So y'all are with me. So what do we do? Okay, cool. I hear you. You may have heard this concept before. What do you do to make this audience appear? I have a strategy before launch and after launch that I follow. What's super important to understand is that before you launch, you just want to entertain. So write that down on your workbooks. That word entertain is key. And I don't mean entertain by, slip on banana peels and tell jokes. That's not what I'm talking about when I say entertain. But you need to have a page, a presence online that people are attracted to, that they are drawn to, right? Because that's the whole thing, getting their attention. That's the true commodity. So you want to focus on just grasping their attention for at minimum 3 months, but 6 months is going to be my recommendation. So this content can be one of two things. It can be a combination of both. But inspirational, this can range. Both of these terms are interchangeable depending on product or service. Inspirational, that means that I'm inspiring you because in some way I either went from where you are to where you want to be, or I'm an expert at what I do. Let me give y'all some examples. Inspirational, if I'm adult fashion person, inspirational might look like, I dress bomb and I show up. The girl in this picture here got a cute little outfit on. If she dresses cute every day, she doesn't have to have come from me wearing clearly comfy clothes and gone to that. That's not necessarily what's needed to win in the fashion world, but it means that she is consistently sharing content for 3 to 6 months of her dressing her butt off, right? So when she does launch her own clothing line, she can show people how to put stuff together. So I'm skipping ahead some, right? So if I am this girl here, right, I'm making up a story for her to help you guys understand me. I'm going to spend 3 to 6 months building an audience around my outfit of the day, what I'm wearing through each season. Y'all see it on Instagram. Y'all might follow some pages like this. But I'm going to spend time just dressing my butt off on Instagram, not asking for a dime, not promoting my business, not promoting a link, not asking y'all to sign up for nothing. Maybe I have a mailing list because I have a blog, but really I just want you to, I want to entertain. Not entertain, not again being goofy, but it just means I'm here to just provide content that you want to consume. And I'm going to do it and gather enough of an audience to where when I say I'm an expert and I'm going to open up a store, you want to roll with me. Okay, does that make sense? Give me a 4 in the comments if that makes sense to y'all. So that's inspirational. And then relational means maybe I'm a service-based business, maybe I'm an influencer, maybe I'm someone that I want to sell me in a sense, right? As that when I launch, then that means that I just want to share. It could be memes. People love a good meme. So if you're sharing content that audience is just like, hey, you're just like me. and we're just having fun. And I'm sharing content that really speaks to that unique audience. The word niche, right? I use that word a whole lot. I try to not use it a whole bunch today. You're probably tired of me saying it, but when it comes to a certain niche, so how to define a niche needs to have and meet 3 different unique criteria when you describe it out. So I ran a group called Baltimore Moms Do Breastfeed when I lived here in Baltimore and was breastfeeding. I do neither right this second, but when I, of course, had the baby, that's my goal again. Nonetheless, I ran that group because it fit within the rule of 3 when it came to niche. Location, right? So in order for me to qualify for this, I had to live in Baltimore. I'm excluding everyone in every other city in the US, but I needed to exclude someone to create a niche. Write that down. You need, in order for it to be a niche, it's excluding somebody. Everyone can't come with you on this journey. You have to exclude somebody to make this work. So where I lived at was one. Breastfeeding is another. So that doesn't include every mom. Every mom doesn't choose to, want to. It's hard as crap. I'm perfectly fine if a mom's like, I'm not breastfeeding. I ain't never breastfeeding. I'm perfectly fine if mom's like, I just didn't do it because it was hard or it didn't work out. It's all good with me, right? So me running this group was not, some people can be very elitist and weird. When it comes to that, more power to everyone that does do what you want to do in life. But this group was for that group of moms. So yes, we're in Baltimore, and yes, we're moms, but we also breastfeed. So that group grew organically. I think that group grew as a Facebook group to like 200 members in like 3 or 4 months without me really thinking about it, because I just nailed the niche. And I could post relational content in that group to keep the group engaged. Memes, funny stuff, stories, pictures of my daughter breastfeeding. I didn't have to put a whole lot of effort into making this audience grow. But what I was doing was posting content that they could relate to, because we really were in this unique nook. The city of Baltimore at that time, not any different than any other city, I don't know, but it just wasn't a big initiative for breastfeeding at that time. If it wasn't for my cousin's wife, I had never met anybody who breastfed in my like childhood up until then. And then, maybe I can count on, like, I had 2 close friends that did, but I knew tons of moms that just knew nothing about it. So we were this smaller nook of women that grew because of that. So I hope that makes sense. So depending on, these 2 types of content work really well. Inspirational can be what you think about. It can be, have a good day because you're beautiful. People love quote pages. Example, bossbabe.inc, I think is the name on Instagram. She is literally building this huge following. And I'm actually, she actually had a class today. I'm gonna go find a recording for it, but she did an Instagram class a couple months ago, maybe even a year ago. And she said that she was like, I just go and I have bookmarked some pages that give really good content, really good quotes. I rewrite it in my own words and I post it on my Instagram page. And she's just building this following because she's posting content that inspires her unique niche. She wants to inspire new young business owners, right? So she's just pumping out content that they can relate to, right? Also content that inspires them. And it's basic. It's just quotes. It's just words on pink or white backgrounds. It doesn't have to be this photo shoot, get your makeup done kind of situation. But when you choose your audience, you got to figure out what they need and what they're looking for. So I really hope I drove that point home and I hope that makes sense to you. So if y'all want to give me in the comments, what kind of business you have, I'll give you an example live here as to what kind of content you can focus on in a pre-launch phase. Coaching. So if I am going for coaching, right? If I was a coach, give me what kind of coaching, because I'm going to give you something specific here. There are different kinds of coaching. So give me some specific. Jewelry. If it's jewelry, I would spend 3 to 6 months, similar to fashion, right? If you love jewelry personally and you want to build a personal following, I will be showing how I am pairing jewelry with my own personal outfits for 3 to 6 months without asking for your money necessarily first. Again, I'm just sharing a page of me and my jewelry and me enjoying being cute. And maybe it's not every day. Maybe it's every Saturday. You know, when you become a mom and work and do all this stuff, perhaps you're like, nah, I'm not going to do it every day. But, you know, in the audience in which you're speaking to, you know, what would they aspire to be? Would they aspire to be, you know, cute every day with their jewelry? Maybe you have we call it incubator page, which we'll go into, is one of my secrets. Maybe you have a page of women who are just wearing really cute jewelry if it's not you, but you have a page that just pulls user-generated content, you know, just featuring people on your page that are wearing cute jewelry. But you want to grow an audience of women who are super fanatic about jewelry. That's what I would really focus on. Online hair business. Hey, Jody. So online hair business, an idea for that could be one or two things. It could be what we call an incubator page. So, you know, just sharing kind of what we're working on together. You know, I'm just working on your page for you, but I am now pulling content that is inspiring to people who enjoy hair. So that's one of the strategies that I'm using for hair businesses, just to get people excited enough to say, hey, I can come to this page. So anything hair, makeup, beauty related, when it comes to skincare, those three things, people like tutorials are huge. So that, you know, show people how to do their hair, how to curl their hair, how to install their wigs, how to install clip-ins, so that kind of content, super huge, right? Because everyone wants to know, how do I get better? How do I have better hair days? How do I, you know, look more like the people who I see on Instagram every day? That's kind of what I would focus on. And then relational, it can be content that's around, you know, just hair jokes, you know. A joke that I could tell about me and my wig right now is, I remember when I first went out with my friends with the wig on, and by the time we pulled off from the club, like 2 lights later, my wig was off. And they're like, where'd your hair go? I'm like, I'm not wearing this wig all the way home. So that's where we are. But that's something that people who wear wigs can relate to. You might look at us once we get from out public and we might not have a wig on anymore. And we can relate to that. And someone who, you know, doesn't wear wigs will probably crack up, and we'll crack up because we do, but it's definitely a joke that niche can understand. Digital marketing. Hey, Shayla. We're in the same boat, of course. So for someone like us to market online, something that I would focus on to really get people excited about is teaching, right? So your business would be inspirational in the sense, or relate. I mean, maybe we kind of go to educational beforehand, and you just kind of start there. It's a little different. We'll put a little asterisk around you. I would pick an avenue of digital marketing that you really love, and I would focus on creating content around teaching that. It should be as unique as you could think of. So there's definitely something that each of us in the digital marketing space that we are good at, that we can just kind of, you know, talk about all day. You know, what's that thing about your business, that thing about what you've done for yourself or for your clients? There's something about your business that, like, if someone starts talking to you about it, you just don't stop talking. And I know we have a couple. So that's what I would build a page around. I would build a page around teaching that. It could be through IGTV, it could be through live video, it could be through just, you know, long. Don't be afraid to type out long captions. Your ideal client will read them, right? But that's what I would focus on as a digital marketer, building an audience beforehand. And then women empowerment coaching. which that will be super fun to create content for, right? Because women empowerment means that inspirational and relational both work for you. You can create content around stories around women who are, either where you were, where your tribe might be that you feel called to, and you could tell stories about people who are overcoming, stories about people who are who inspire you. You can give quotes, just those pure, like how Boss Babe Inc. does, just quotes that just inspire people. It could just be text quotes. But you want to build a community of women who just enjoy waking up in the morning and seeing what you have to offer. So I hope that helps y'all. After launch, like I mentioned, similar, but focus on educating your client. So once you have that audience, start teaching them how you fit in the equation of getting them from, again, where they are to where they want to be. So if it's somebody who is, in the women empowerment, maybe I'm educating you on therapy. Maybe I'm educating you on the power of finding that perfect church, or getting in that ministry or that small group, at church. Maybe I am educating you on, like jewelry. I actually have a jeweler. I have a fine jeweler client. She's a jewelry store in California. And right now we're spending time educating people as to why she's different. Every jewelry business is different, right? Because the owner is different. But for her, she's different because she sources her jewelry from Brazil. That's super different. And she explained the process to me. Every piece that she gets access to is only a couple in the world because it's handmade jewelry. Like, that's super cool, right? So she has to spend more time educating her potentials, her audience on that, so they know this is cool. That's super different. And her clients will spend whatever. They come to her weekly and get pieces because they know if I come back next week, it's going to be gone because it's only but so many that you have. And when I do get this, it's so pretty and it's so unique, right? And then encouraging. Again, encouraging could be, maybe I'm a guru at something. Maybe I'm an expert. But encouraging means that even though I might already have mastered this, there's still room for you to grow here. So I'm not a fashion girl, but again, let's call her Lucy in this picture here. If Lucy here is living it up and she's dressing well, and someone like me who's, a mom and mom to be, I see her, I think I can't obtain that level of fashion. If she creates content that maybe is a how-to video, how to simple ways to dress up, your mom look or something like that, that's encouraging. You're educating me, but you're also encouraging me. You're helping me to see that there's a room for me to grow and that you can help me get to where I want to be. So maybe I don't buy clothes from some other store, but if she helps bridge the gap between, man, she looks cute, and man, I don't, but she helps me to see a way in which to get closer to where she is as an expert in her field, I'm going to latch on to whatever she has to offer, right? So give me a 5 in the comments if that's helpful. I really hope that helps, that makes sense to y'all. Awesome. Phenomenal. All right, so launching a brand ambassador program is one of my favorite things. Will help you to dramatically increase content collection. So this is something that most businesses kind of like skip over. I don't want you to skip over this. I want you to be patient with this process because you're working with unpaid people. So let's never forget that at the core. I mean, they're getting paid per referral, but they're still unpaid people. So, but launching our brand ambassador program where you get people excited, you get them coupon codes, you help them order with the discount, and you really start to rally around these folks. This is the life hack that's going to help you get content before you launch your business. When you have women who are sharing your business, or men who are sharing your business, they're also, again, delivering content to you. User-generated content works really well on any social media platform. I'm speaking a lot about Instagram today by default because it's just my home. But just know this applies to Facebook. This applies to Just, those two for the most part. But you could use these techniques on almost any platform. And yeah, that's just my life hack. So my clothing boutique, that's the life hack that got me to 4K. My brand ambassadors, I think, were most of that 4K. That was most of that 4K. Why was that? Because I had an audience of women, an audience of moms. Most of these moms were breastfeeding moms, right? So I built this audience with nothing to sell them. So when I had this opportunity for them to be a brand ambassador for a clothing line, bam, right? I didn't have a product actually in mind. I just knew, I now know, because my brain, again, I'm now a couple years into this, but I now know that, like, I want to always be building audience, always be looking for ways to build audiences, to connect women, to do these things, because it's always going to pay me at some point when I figure out the idea to match it. But that was the secret. Build the audience first, get in communities with women who are like this. So not only did my audience come through with that 4K in sales, I was able to go to other Facebook groups of same type of women who are breastfeeding, moms who are breastfeeding, and create this excitement around being a brand ambassador for children's clothes. So I had content way before I launched. I had sales way before I launched because I gave them a discount. And because we are this unique group of women, close knit, because we're bonding over, something that can be seen. I mean, breastfeeding can be problematic. It's hard. So you're bonding over something hard that just generated a ton of sales. So think about that, right? Like, who can you start with? I offer the service. I'll do it for you. I'll help find women for you, or women for you who can help you build this brand ambassador program. But, where are people lying at that love what you have to offer, who you can make a couple? It's not going to be sales that you can go pay your mortgage with, right? I got, fortunate because I built this audience already. But brand ambassadorship is not designed for you to profit from. It's an investment pretty much into your brand. You. So let's move on. I knew I wanted to keep this to an hour. Here I am, not doing that. Step 3, don't choose your product before you market research. You do your market research. This is what separates your business from being an expensive hobby to being truly profitable, guys. And this is how you decide if your business idea is profitable. Market research. So you write this in your notes. Market research is what helps you decide if your business idea will be profitable. Understand, though, please understand, every audience is not who you get your market research from. This is just your ideal. Most folks hear this and then go asking their family and friends what they think. Unless your family and friends fit your ideal, and again, let's go back to that thought process we talked about before, every audience is not equally profitable. Chances are your family and friends, you love them dearly, but they aren't necessarily the most profitable audience you can get access to. They may not be who is going to fund your business and take you. Because for me, I hit $1 million in sales within my first 4 years of being an online business. That didn't come from interviewing my family and friends about what they thought at every turn. What I do for stuff like for my agency, I grabbed one friend. I had one friend I could think of. That's crazy, right? Out of all my friends, who I'm like, she's the one I want to ask about this. She's who I want, right? She, is she has the mindset. That's what it was. So I didn't go asking everybody. I found a person who matches who I wanted more of in my business. So I won't go into that anymore. We don't get taught this in school unless you go in school for business, because most of us launch an idea based on our own personal interests, right? We get excited, or our own opinion. And that's not as exciting as that is, and how much we romanticize us. We don't pay our own bills. And you become an entrepreneur, your clients, your customers do. So you do not want to launch an idea based off of your own fuzzies. That's a hobby. You can do whatever you want, right? But it's an expensive hobby because you start to invest in it. So based off of your ideal audience, does your ideal audience have excitement around you launching this? Is there something about what you're offering that gets them excited? Why? Right? What's different? So people sometimes will say, well, that market's saturated. I don't have a place in it. You absolutely do if you're willing to identify what makes you unique. Most of us have businesses that I can go on Google right now and find 10 other businesses that are like us or like our idea, but it doesn't mean that we can't make $1 million from it. The difference between if we do or we don't is, can we identify something about how we offer it, where we offer it from, whatever the case is, that's unique? Is it meeting a need that the market isn't yet meeting, right? And again, that's just important. And people are excited about that. So excitement level dictates. People were super excited about children's clothes. They still are, always will be. So that was the case. For our store that we just launched, our beauty supply store, our main product is a detangling hairbrush, right? That's a product that people are excited about. Let me tell you how excited they are. My sister-in-law has called me once a week. Is my brush here yet? Is my brush here yet? Did you order my brush? I washed my hair today. Guess what I didn't have? I didn't have my brush. She is so excited about this detangling hairbrush. And everybody that we've seen I talked to about this, it's not just, oh, you're going to offer, a hairbrush. That's super cool. No, I've been looking for that. I heard about that. I need that. Is it in stock? Like one of our friends was like, tell me about this brush. Are we talking about this store y'all are doing? And I showed her the brush that we're offering. She was like, well, I need one. I need one for my daughter's hair. So that excitement level that we got around, and circle that word excitement, that's what's going to dictate if you're going to have a successful launch initially or not. People can be excited for you, but are they excited about the item? Is there something different about the item? So, yeah, that's what I want to figure out. I'm going to keep going so I don't chat y'all. But does that help? Does that make sense, y'all? Help you break down? You can figure out what's a hobby and what's profitable, right? And you do that by asking the right people their opinion on what gets them excited. That's where most people go wrong when it comes to launching a business. Awesome. All right, so we're moving right along here. Step 4, source the product or offer. For physical products, look for low-cost, highly reviewed items. So this brush that we're offering is a low-cost, highly reviewed item. It's already versions of it out there. We're just branding our own. Brand ambassadors can help you test items. That's the benefit of that. So when I launched my store, drop shipping store, which some of y'all are interested in that, drop shipping is super interesting. Let me make sure I turn the phone off. Okay. All right. Drop shipping is super interesting because I don't have anything in stock. I don't keep items in stock. So I don't have a beauty supply room in my house. My vendor ships my items out for me. So when I started this clothing boutique, I didn't have all the items in stock. I tested, right? I did my market research and I tested for the clothing that my daughter could wear, but my daughter's not a boy and I didn't want to buy boy clothes for her. So there were items that I knew in this pre-launch period before I launched to the public that I needed their opinion on. So they got a discount on the items and I was upfront. I said, look, y'all, I need y'all to let me know what you think. Is the item well made? Is there any issues with it? This is coming right from my vendor to y'all. So y'all are getting a discount. Is this of good quality? Can I market this? Not that part, but like, is this of good quality? What complaints do you have? What can we do better? And they were honest, and the feedback was amazing. So not only did I make money in that process of building that pre-launch, but I also, brain fog. I also got feedback from my brand ambassadors about my items. So when I did get them out on the market, drop shipping them without having them leave my house first, I could trust my vendor a little bit more, and I didn't have any issues. I had no issues. That's pretty cool. Still haven't had issues. I love my vendor, right? So that's there. Service-based offers. Create a focus group. So my friend in this case for the agency, she was a lone person, but as you're building your audience first, right, you are going to have your loyal fans. You're going to start identifying people who really, really love your stuff. And when you do that, if they are part of your ideal market, you can bring them out and be like, hey, I love you. You love all of my content. I see you. I value you. And I value your opinion. And you can literally create a group chat on Facebook, a group chat on Instagram, a group chat in Messenger, email group, quick Zoom, and run your ideas past them. Again, you guys want to make sure, let's scroll back up, people are excited about what you're thinking about. That excitement is what creates those initial orders. That excitement is what's going to help you build that business. So when you have that focus group, you can create new items or new offers all the time because you've already tested them against somebody who is your target. And the benefit of that is because they're your loyal fan base and they know you value them, they're probably going to be your first customers, right? So number 5 here, keep your design simple. When you have both a pool of ideal clients and market confirmation for your idea, you don't have to invest a whole lot of money up front in your design. That you have what you need to run. And as you start to make money, your business can fund the upgrades. Your business can fund the upgraded logos and websites. Like I have on my dream board for 2020 to hire a marketing graphic designer, but I haven't done that yet for my brands. I haven't done it yet at all because I haven't had to. That hasn't stopped me. It's going to stop me from scaling, right? It's going to stop me from growing to where I want to go. But I was able to profit from each of my launches without really focusing on that because I focus on the audience first, right? Most people go wrong because they invest a bulk of their money into branding and have little money left for marketing. And when you launch your next idea or your first idea, make sure you have a marketing budget, someone to help you instead of doing it by yourself, because you really want to make sure that you have, again, eyes and attention and an audience and an attention. Those are your commodities, right? So bonus, I wanted to give you guys our top 3 marketing secrets so you knew what else is happening behind the veil, right? So incubator pages, I've already alluded to that. That's basically feature pages. Each of you guys can do this. I know we have women empowerment out there. A women empowerment brand can absolutely have a page where it's just Women Crush, Wednesday. That could be the page name. And you can just feature women who inspire you, who are in your ideal audience on that page for 3 months. And when you're ready to turn that page into, an offer, a freebie, start your funnel, they're going to sign up because you loved on them, right? You stopped your day to love on them. So when you have something, they're going to stop and look at what you have to offer. That can go for hair, right? Hair extensions, those pages where it's just girls wearing cute hair and that's back to back. Having that run for 3 months. Now you have a whole audience of women who love hair. So when you offer your product, they are already loyal to your brand because you inspired them for 3 months, 6 months of just bomb hair. They want more of that. This can go for a digital marketing space. This could be something as simple as, I guess I wouldn't do incubator page for that. I would just do information page. Paid influencer marketing. This is an area that I don't want you guys to sleep on. The paid influencer marketing is how we loophole and we haven't given Facebook or Instagram directly any of our coins for marketing our new store. But we did pay influencers to share our product. And we went right to the natural hair community, people who have curly hair, who had trouble detangling it, and had them market our brush. And by spending, maybe $100 in marketing, that returned $500, almost $600. I think it's close to $600 now. And I haven't paid anything extra. So it's $500 profit from marketing directly to my audience. And we already have, though, our own natural hair community on Instagram. We have 2 of them. So we have our own incubator pages, but we paid incubator pages to market our product. So we love incubator pages. These are also known as feature pages. So that's a secret. Most people don't do that on the small business level. Services, this is going to get really big in 2020. Like, I feel it in my bones. People are going to use influencers more and more to market their services. So for digital marketing, if you have an offer, you might want to figure out what influencers have a similar message to your ideal client. Maybe you have an influencer that owns a different kind of business, and maybe you got swapped. Maybe you pay them. Maybe you give them a commission for whoever signs up for what you offer. But paying someone or being in business with someone who is building an audience online is a way you can circumvent if you've launched your business. Some of y'all are like, well, man, I done launched my business already. If you launched your business already and you don't have that audience, that attention, you want to partner with those who do. Find the people who do. And find the ones that are professional. And there are ways to do this. I'm not going to, hammer y'all out with that. But there are ways to get access to reputable, affordable, profitable pages that already have an audience and have their attention that you can market to. And get creative. Don't just do what everyone else is doing. Maybe like for hair, maybe I don't go to a hair influencer. Maybe I go to somebody who does makeup and who likes to wear hair. Maybe I go indirect. So it's not somebody who already has marketed for 17, 20 different hair companies since they've been around. And then Facebook groups. Facebook groups are great. Like I mentioned, I started one myself, but that's a huge reason why the Clothing Boutique took off. Being able to find niche Facebook groups of people who fit your ideal audience and really become part of that community. Don't just go in there trying to sell stuff. Become part of that community, because that's going to allow for you to directly build relationships with people who need what you have to offer. And if nothing else, please always see the value in testing your idea, making friends, making connections, so you can validate before you invest your blood, sweat, and tears into an idea. You can validate it and make sure people are excited about it before you go full throttle. So that, guys, is the end of class. I talked your head off for a full hour. I want to open it up for questions. So if y'all want to type me questions in the chat here, I would love to either get a question from you, or if not, give me your best aha moment. What did you learn tonight that will help you grow your business? I'm going to do both, actually, but maybe you don't have both a question and an aha. So I would love both of those from you. Something that you want to ask, based off of what you learned, and then something that you took away from tonight that's going to help you change your business in 2020. Give it to me. How do we go about building an audience if we already launched? So that can be one of two things, Jody. If you already launched and you're looking to build an audience, you can honestly have a separate page where you're planning to filter people back into your business page. So I have lots of pages, a lot of pages on Instagram. And some of them are just to generate attention and audience that I can filter back to my business. So for instance, what I'm working on for 2020, we started this concept and we did not keep it. We have 2 vacation pages. One's called the Dreamiest Destinations. Huge page we rebranded it, started it, and then was like, I can't see how this is going to fit in our brand right now, and kind of put it down. But we're going to go back and start to build that audience, just because we know that we're going to start offering new drop shipping Shopify stores in 2020 that I might want access to an audience that loves to travel. So bam, right? That's a way that you can go ahead and and do that. The second would be figuring out what your audience values, right? So if there's and niching down even more. So if you niche down even more and figure out what that audience loves, is into, needs, is excited about, then you can start to really create content that is a little bit less about what you're selling and a little bit more about what they're interested in. So they want to follow your store. They want to be part of what you have. I will be hosting a class for drop shipping soon. That is the next. I just talked to my husband about that. I was like, are people interested in that? Like, is that something that I should offer? Because I love drop shipping. Like the concept, we can give y'all details on that. So that's something that y'all are interested in. We definitely will host a class about that. Shireen learned how invaluable a pre-launch is. And I want you to give me details. What's one thing about the pre-launch that you learned that you're like, yeah, like I get it. I get it. Shayla, always realizing how impatient I can be. Same. I definitely have some ideas on expanding our agency. And now I'm going to begin pre-launching those ideas to see how they can pick up momentum before we implement. I am excited because it sounds like you're going to save time and money, right? Because as business owners, especially when you start the process of relaunching and launching new ideas on top of, like, when you become a multipreneur, you don't have a bunch of time. Like, you're already kind of running a business. So you really want to make sure before you divert attention away from your main source of income that you know this is worth you dedicating the extra few hours a day or week or whatever to. Sorry, y'all. Can you talk more about the brand ambassador program? It definitely, we design it per person, per industry. So for example, brand ambassador program, they don't get free product. So the difference between brand ambassador and influencer, brand ambassador means you're getting a discount and a discount code, and might be two different codes, but either way, I'm not going to charge you full price for items. You're going to get a pretty good discount. 30 to 40% is typical. And it means that they're going to market in exchange for that. Their incentive to market is that they get a percentage in sales per order they refer in. And my logic behind that is, if you brought the sale to me, I'm not going to get full price from it. You know, I didn't do the full work to get that sale. You brought one to me. So why can't I split, money or bread with you? Because you brought me someone that invested in my store. So, and if you're selling through a DM, you may not have a storefront in which to do coupons. So that's something that you have to kind of consider. I'm not sure how you would structure that. That works best when you have a website that can accept coupon codes, because then you can track your brand ambassador sales. You're not doing as much on the back end trying to figure out who came from where. If you don't have a website, that again, you have to kind of figure out a system to track and then to make sure that, everything stays kind of in order. And Shayla, dropshipping, it's fun. That's our the hobby that pays right now is drop shipping. So it's definitely something that's fun to add into the store, or to your business rather. Any other thoughts, y'all? The importance of doing marketing research, fantastic, because I don't want y'all to forget that. And again, I'll always repeat this. It's not just asking family and friends, it's asking the right people. Find out how, who you need to speak to and how to get in front of them. And building that audience definitely helps, but you definitely want to make sure whoever you want to sell to, or whoever you want to be part of your tribe, that's who you get the opinions from, because the wrong people will send you in the wrong path. Let me tell you, if you go ask, let's use an example. If you go trying to sell makeup to women who don't wear makeup, if you ask those women their opinion, you're going to get different answers than somebody who spends, $200 a month on it. And it might discourage you. You might get a false confirmation for an idea that's not, something that somebody might buy who's not in my ideal, I'm not interested in that. So for example, my husband is rebranding his photography business because the initial audience that we were targeting for, he is, I guess Bador, I can never say it right. He's just patient with me. But his audience that we initially were working with was divorced women, and that worked well for the beginning of his launch. So he's a Facebook ad guy, 50,000 in sales in 8 months through Facebook ads. And he's awesome at that. But what we learned as we try to scale that business, it wasn't scalable because unfortunately when women are going through a divorce, their money is tight. You're paying for lawyers, you're going from 2 incomes to 1. So that was initially, we did market research and we were like, oh, this would work. But what works to launch your business may not work to scale your business. So now we're in the process of, redoing his website, rewriting his copy, shooting new pictures. Like, it's a whole relaunch. So the whole process that I'm telling you guys about this pre-launch, we're pre-launching his next phase, his scalable phase of business behind the scenes. So you might see stuff start dripping, but his official representation might not be until January, February, March, depending on when we get all of our ducks in a row to really represent ourselves to a new audience that can afford to keep up with his scaling, right? I'm trying to balance quitting my job and trying to take the pre-launch, but it's good, right? And Joey says she's looking forward to the drop shipping class. It's awesome. Looking forward to having you. But yeah, you want to make sure that you allow time for that. Most of us don't know. Like, before I launched the business, I didn't know about this pre-launch period, and you will just expect business to go well. And not to say it won't, but there are areas that you can definitely build and strengthen your brand beforehand, so you aren't stressed. Influencers, again, if I'm choosing an influencer, they're going to need to be paid. So that's one thing that you have to understand. They need to be compensated. They might want free product. They might want money. But I choose them based off of the audience that follows them. I don't just look at followers, but like, who's following them? Are they my ideal? And I look at their engagement. How are people interacting with them? Is it organic? Is it authentic? Is it just numbers and metrics and that kind of thing? And then I choose them based off of their professionalism. If I'm going to do business with you, I'm doing business with you. I'm going to have a contract. I'm going to have expectations. I'm going to have an application or a phone call. But like, I'm going to definitely make sure my ducks are in a row, because if I'm going to pay you or compensate you with free product, I have to guarantee that you're going to give me what I'm looking for. Okay. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the time tonight. I enjoyed spending time with you guys. I hope that y'all brains are moving and you're thinking and you're just super excited about what's to come. I'm excited for you, and just keep an eye out. I'm redesigning my brand. I'm in the process of pre-launching what coaching looks like. I feel like so much in my brain that I'm definitely figuring out where my new phase is going to go. So I'm working along with y'all. Thank you for being here, Sheila. Do I have a program for influencers as well? I do, to a certain extent. So I do have a list of influencers that are in my database that I can reach out to and see who's interested. I do have an influencer contract. I am able to analyze and am able to identify if they match up to your ideal. So I know how to do my homework on that. And but I haven't done it for anyone but myself yet, right? But I guess we just did it for the launch for the brushes. So yes, I guess I do have a program for that. I just haven't launched that. The brand ambassador thing, of course, is something that I've been doing and I'm able to help along with. But yeah, I guess so. I guess I am pretty good at that. You just keep discovering stuff, right? I'm so glad you guys were here, and hopefully I see you guys next time. I think the dropshipping class will be next. So maybe we'll host that coming up soon, and I look forward to helping you guys with your brand. If you need strategy help, if you need someone to, and I do offer, of course, one-time strategy. I offer monthly strategy sessions social media management. So whatever y'all need to help as you build, just know I'm here. All right. Good night. Thanks for joining. I'll see y'all next time. Don't forget to go through your workbook and complete the homework there. Okay, guys? Because that homework is going to help you gain clarity about what you learned tonight. So now that you've gone through this with me, go through your workbook, reach out to me on Facebook. It's easy to find me there if you have any questions as you go through your workbook and really start the process of pre-launching your business the right way. Y'all are awesome too. Thank y'all. Good night.